And we are rolling on October 6th. We're about to hear some introductory speeches. First from Lily, who stands before you managing attention. Just take a step that way. Thank you. Communicating respect non-verbally. Saying to yourself, I really respect my audience. Finding friendly eyes near the front and the center. Say your name, feel the love. Start your speech.
Hi, I'm Lily Raji.
Hi, Lily.
And since last week, I've gotten to know my study buddy. Did you know that the distance from here, right where we are right now, to Kansas is approximately 1,430.6 miles away? I can definitely say I did not know that before meeting my study buddy. So when we were first assigned the introduction speech, I was a little confused as to why we were asking our study buddy about their past, present, and future as opposed to their interests or their hobbies. However, after asking the questions, it made perfect sense. After all, aren't we all a sum of our past, present, and future? Our experiences and stories make us the people that we are today. So over the last week, I've been asking questions and exchanging stories with my study buddy, and today I'm going to tell you about her past, present, and future. I know you'll enjoy getting to know her as much as I have because she's adventurous, hardworking, and kind. So in Shawnee Mission, Kansas, 1,430.6 miles, or 20 hours and 47 minutes away, my study buddy was born on December 18th, 1997. From day one, it was clear that she was adventurous, always trying new things, whether it was trying out cheerleading for 4 years, practicing soccer for 2, joining the Student Executive Council Board, joining various community service groups, or even learning how to water ski. She was always trying new things. From the story she told me, it was clear that she was a dedicated, well-rounded student who was always trying out new things. One story that stood out to me in particular was one that involved her 2 brothers, Jesse and Dylan. As children, they decided that they would try out something new and put together a whole talent show from scratch, all the different acts and performances, and they gathered their parents to come and watch. So when it comes to her present, she's currently an undergraduate student at UCLA, starting as an undeclared major. She told me the story about how shocking it was for her family that she decided to attend here, because it turns out that most of her entire family attended Kansas State University, but she decided to try out something new, break tradition, and come to UCLA instead, travel the 1,430.6 miles to get here. And once she got here, she continued more efforts to try out new things, and she decided to join a sorority, Chi Omega. So as she told me about her future, it became even more clear how much of a well-rounded student she was. She hopes to change to the communications major as soon as possible, and also aims to try out new clubs, various community service groups as well. And as for other goals in her future, she hopes to start a family, enjoy the career that she chooses, and to travel the world, try new things, and see new places. So after speaking with my study buddy about her past, present, and future, it became very clear, and as you can see, that she's a very well-rounded student. She's dedicated to both school and other activities. I realized after speaking with her how much it made sense that we were asked to ask them about their past, present, and future. If I hadn't asked her about it, if I'd asked her more generic questions, I wouldn't have gotten to know her as well. It turns out that we truly are indeed a sum of our past, present, and future. Our experiences and stories shape us into the people we are today and the people that we hope to become in the future. If we were to go out and ask people more of these types of questions, ask them more about their stories, ask them to tell us about their experiences instead of just the generic questions, we would be able to form much stronger connections. If I hadn't asked her these questions, if I had asked her instead, what's your major or what's your favorite TV show, I wouldn't have known that Kansas is 1,430.6 miles away or any of the other interesting facts that I got to know about her through this experience. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to my study buddy, Allie Patterson.
Thank you. 326. What'd you like?
Hi, I'm Caroline.
Hi, Caroline.
I really liked how you didn't just immediately start us into this story, how you kind of introduced it with, if we get to know each other this way. I was skeptical at first about the past, present, and future, but as I went along, I found out that learning about people's past, present, and future is important, like knowing who they are. I really like that because it wasn't just like, I'm going to tell you about her past, present, and future. It was like, oh, this is like actually important. I learned a lot from asking about the past, present, and future. Like, here's what I learned. Like, here's why I like her. Here's like what's important. Good job.
Okay, thank you. You liked your introduction. Improvement.
Hi, I'm Melissa.
I'm Melissa.
I really liked your speech, and it was like really persuasive, and I got to like a good idea of the kind of person she was. But I think maybe in the beginning she could have like said her name first, because we were kind of like one right throughout.
Who is she? Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. Okay. So we you kept us in suspense, much like the movie title. Okay. Lily, I liked your speech. You're fluent. You're a likable speaker. You're sincere, and those were all positive qualities. You chose to do sort of a talking about the prompt, and that was interesting, as was pointed out, and you tied back to the prompt. You also had a nice tie back to this 1,430.6 miles away. That's a long ways away, isn't it? I actually, I haven't thought about it in a while, but I recruited a debater from Shawnee Mission. Yeah, William Grisalia. That was 1979, but, it was a while ago. I'm sure you don't know him. Shawnee Mission, yes. Okay, so let's talk about, you had a good thesis preview. Your SIG statement was good. The past, you had some factoids, but you also had the story about the talent show, and so that was good. You had a story. On the present, you told us a story of her, breaking with tradition and not going to K-State, which is, this is a much better school anyway. So, she made a good decision, but it would have been interesting to hear a little bit more about that as a story. But you still I like the way you reintroduced the 1,430 miles. Again, it's sort of an extended metaphor, extended, illusion. That was good. On the future, it's hard to get stories going, but you told her she's going to join other clubs and stuff. Your summary was good. Your conclusion and tie back were good. You said for your canais, meaning constant and never-ending improvement, you want to improve the tone of your speaking, to speak with more excitement, and don't talk too fast. How did it go?
I think I did a little bit better than last time, but I think I could still improve on it and maybe not rush through it too.
And the key to that is editing, so that you can spend time with what you have and not feel that you have to get a lot in. The tone of your speech, if you speak louder, softer, faster, slower, consciously, and practice that way with the vocal variety. One run through should just be on vocal variety and yellow and key, certain words that you want to emphasize, Then you overdo it in the beginning, and then you'll naturally fall back into a nice cadence. Other than that, you did a very nice job, Lily. Thank you. Okay, Allie stands before you, managing attention. She's in the power stance, communicating respect non-verbally, saying to yourself, I really respect my audience. Finding friendly eyes near the front and the center. Say your name, feel the love. Start your speech.
Hi, I'm Allie.
Hi, Allie.
She is a proud lover of dogs and monkeys. She is a reality television enthusiast. She is someone who can tell you exactly how many days are left until Christmas. Today I want to introduce to you my new study buddy. I will tell you a little bit about her past, her present, and her future. The date was August 26, 1995, and a girl who would turn into a driven, musically talented, and family-oriented woman was born in Newport Beach, California. She actually ended up spending all of her childhood in San Clemente, California, where she lived in the exact same house all the way up until she moved out for college. There she was able to find multiple ways to express her creativity. She took piano lessons for 7 years, and she took singing lessons for 2. She also found love in writing. Growing up, she was able to form amazing connections with her family. She confided in her parents and found that she could trust them more than most people. She trusted them so much that one time, when they told her that Rose from the Titanic was standing on the edge of the boat because she got food poisoning from a rotten tomato at dinner that night, she believed them. She also grew up mentoring her little brother. Who would have known that years later, her little brother would be someone that she looks up to now? During high school, she was driven to achieve perfect grades. Despite these ambitions, she really struggled to find what she was truly passionate about. So this led to her pursuing a major in computer science, even though she really didn't enjoy it. Today, my study buddy is in her 3rd year at UCLA. Rather than continuing what she didn't enjoy, she decided to change her major to communication studies because she found through her work in different marketing company or with working with a marketing company and writing articles and doing SEO work for different, like other companies, she found her passions in marketing and writing. Rather than doing something that she loved, after spending so much time in a major she really didn't enjoy, she found the importance of pursuing her true passions. She hopes to have a published novel one day and to find a career in marketing. Along with these occupational aspirations, she hopes to travel to all 50 states one day and to live in New York specifically for 2 years. Although she has already been to England, Spain, Italy, Iran, and China, she hopes to travel to other countries as well. She also hopes to have a family one day, and one that includes a dog. Sorry. So today, in summary, I've told you a little bit about my study buddy's past, present, and future. Now I could go on and continue listing different nouns that show you guys a little bit about who she is, but instead of doing that, I hope you guys know that there's a lot more to who she is. After hearing her story, there's a lot more to who she is. So ladies and gentlemen, I give you Lily Raji.
Thank you. 309.
Hi, my name is Leslie.
Hi, Leslie.
I really liked the stories, the stories you told about her and the way you introduced her. Like your introduction was very good. I really liked it.
Improvement.
Hi, I'm Michaela.
Hi, Michaela.
I really liked your speech. I thought you did a really good job with keeping it very fluid and interesting with your tone and stuff. I did sound a little bit memorized, and you kind of lost your train of thought. You got back on really quick, but maybe work on just if you forget something, just kind of be a little bit more spontaneous about it.
Good. Yeah, I liked your speech, Allie. It was you're fluent and you're likable as a speaker. Those are good qualities. It was a little memorized and not extemporaneous, and you know the difference, and I appreciate you working so hard that you almost had it down word for word, but that's not the most effective way to go. So when you practice saying it in your own words, and you work from an outline, and just say it in your own words each time, and it will be more effective and more compelling. Secondly, on that point, if you can have the narrative with your voice become more prominent in your speech by just saying, if, for example, you skipped over the significant statement and say, I know you really enjoy meeting my study buddy because she's this, and this. Now let's go to the past, and then you talked about good stuff and the stories and so forth. In high school, and the perfect grades in computer science, and so those were pretty good stories. Like a little bit more story-ish and a little fewer facts would have been good. The present, yes. Change to comp studies, wise decision, of course. And passion and marketing, and it would have been nice to have a story about where she interned or something like that. That would have been helpful. The future was good. All these countries she's been to, there seems like there would have been a story there too that you could have brought out. But again, some people you have to kind of pull the story like pulling teeth. You really pull it out of them. Some people are shy. I don't know what the story was. And your tie back to your introduction was dogs and monkeys, passionate writer, television enthusiast, and how many days till Christmas, and you got back to that theme. So you understood the concept of the tie back. Are your canais or goals, are they on this part here? Or?
They're on my outline of it, or the worksheet.
Okay, what were your goals? Always submit them with what you submit to me, but what were they?
To stay on track, which I did not do. And then less hand movements.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
What about your hand movement? You feel that you're moving them too much?
I still move them a lot, but it wasn't as much as grabbing my hands and doing
pinching
stuff
them
that.
and stuff like
I kind
that.
of kept them in the same area, but I still moved them. So.
Okay. As an instructor, I'm real reluctant to say much about people's hands, because usually what happens when I do is they end up holding them stiffly by their side and not moving them at all, and that over compensation is just as bad. So just move them naturally and let them be natural. You don't want to be holding them or steepling like that. That connotes superiority, or pinching yourself in reassurance, or clenching them together, or being closed like that. Just be open with your hands and arms. What was your third canai? You said stay on track, stay your hand, work with your hands. Okay. I would say work on this extemporaneous next time and make it real extemporaneous and not so memorized. But you did a nice job, Allie. Thank you. Hi.
Here's my speech, and then here's my evaluation.
Great. Okay. And who's going first?
I'll go.
Okay, Caroline. Sweet Caroline. Okay. Caroline stands before you, managing attention, communicating respect. She's reading, finding friendly eyes near the front and the center. Say your name, feel the love. Start your speech.
Hi everyone, my name is Caroline.
Hi, Caroline.
So even though we just started this class about 2 weeks ago, I feel like we've already gotten to know each other so much through all of the respect speeches. One that really stood out to me was Alyssa's, so I'm so excited that she is my study buddy, and I've gotten to know so much more about her from talking about her life and her past, present, and future, and seeing, just how much we have in common, and just what an interesting person she really is. So today I'd love to introduce you to Alyssa Bonchik, who is my Communications 1 study buddy, and I would love to tell you more about her past, present, and future. I know that you'll really enjoy meeting her because she's so honest, compassionate, and she has a lot of big plans for her future that she's super excited about. So Alyssa grew up in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, which is really far from here, obviously. She grew up with a mom from Cleveland and a dad from Miami, and she has a little sister named Sydney, who's a sophomore in high school, which is actually the same age as my little sister, so obviously we have a lot in common. Through middle school and high school, she was kind of into photography, did soccer, and she had a best friend named Emily. Although Alyssa's life may sound super exciting, or her past may sound super exciting, it was all kind of flipped upside down when she found out that her friend's mom actually was diagnosed with stomach cancer. So this like really, kind of hurt her and her friends. It was like a hard time for Alyssa. And so they started this club in middle school called Debbie's Dream, which basically raised awareness and money for stomach cancer and really, brought the community together after this, life-threatening disease really hit home for them. Another thing that really brought her through this hard time was her faith. She's Jewish, and now onto her present, she's still practicing her Jewish faith here at UCLA. She's actually joined a Jewish club called Hillel, and she continues to study her religion and everything. So one reason that she came to UCLA is because she used to visit here with her dad all the time. She's really used to, being in LA. She loves the people here. She came here to study communications, so she wants to be a major in communications. And she is anticipating still continuing her photography, here, maybe joining a photography club or something. She recently, actually, in the present, went through a sorority recruitment process, which she describes as a really hard time for her, at least so far at UCLA, the hardest thing she's done. Sorority recruitment, I don't know if you guys know that much about it, but basically you just go meet a ton of people and you find a house that you really fit with. So Alyssa was kind of disappointed when, meeting people really fast is kind of a, tough thing to do. So she was kind of disappointed when she felt like the houses she really connected with dropped her. And she was actually thinking about dropping out of the whole process anyway because she was, not really feeling it, didn't really feel like it was for her. But eventually, by the end of the week, she found a home in Alpha Chi Omega, which is now her current sorority, and she's very happy with it. So I'm glad to hear that her present is going pretty well, and she's really enjoying her classes. On to her future. Obviously, she doesn't really know that much about what she wants to do. None of us really do at this point. But she does want to continue her passion for photography, as I said, joining a few clubs, continuing in her Jewish club. Her major is communication. She would love to have a career in kind of the entertainment industry. She wants to be a publicist for a celebrity or someone, kind of famous. Her dream job is actually to be a publicist for Taylor Swift, which I thought was really cool because I also really love Taylor Swift. So although, she doesn't really have that many stories for her future, she does have big dreams, and, she wants to continue traveling because she does love to travel and eventually have a family and maybe a couple kids in the future. So I really enjoyed getting to know Alyssa and found out how, honest and compassionate she was, and how her dreams for the future really drive her in the present and, or derived from her challenging but interesting past. So I really enjoyed getting to know Alyssa, and I know you guys will too as we continue on our class. So ladies and gentlemen, Alyssa Blonchik.
Thank you. 422. You were in the room, I said back there.
I'm Allie.
Hi, Allie.
I really liked how natural you were, and it just seemed very fluent, and like you were having like a conversation with us.
Okay, a natural speaker. That's a good quality. Improvement.
Hi, I'm Jordan.
Hi, Jordan.
I think that you moved around a lot. A lot of the time it was a good thing, but sometimes you got like a little bouncy. I know that you're like a dancer, so like you kind of tell. That's it. Good job.
Thanks.
Carolyn, let's start with that. I liked your speech. I liked how you presented stories about your study buddy, Alyssa. So that was good. But the movement was a little distracting. So watch what you did. I didn't get your feet, but you got out of the power stance and wrapped your feet around each other. And you weren't always in the power stance. And if you're going to move purposely. So in their past, work this side of the room. Let's go to the power stance. In the present, come over to here, and then come back to the center. So move a little more purposefully would be more effective. You told us, and secondly, remember to put your outline in the Roman numeral form, so you have all the Roman numerals there, and put the heads. I know you have them memorized, but so intro, thesis, sig statement, so you remember to say those words and have them in there. For the past, you told us that she came from Fort Lauderdale and that, she's interested in photography, and you told us a story about her friend's mother getting cancer of the stomach, and the story of Debbie's dreams of raising money for cancer in Judaism. Those were good stories, and that's the kind of thing I was after, so that was good. On the present, you told us about Hillel and the good story about being rejected by a sorority, and that was a disappointment to her and hurtful to her, but she finally then hooked up with Alpha Chi Omega, and that was a positive thing. So that was a good story too, and very revealing, I thought, too. Alyssa, future, you told us about her dreams, Taylor Swift. That was very revealing and interesting factoid. Like to hear you say so. In summary, I've told you about her past, present, and future with Taylor Swift. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Alyssa. And then a tie back to, I was really impressed with her respect speech because I got to know her from that. So have a more vivid tie back. But other than that, you did a very nice job. Thank you. Okay, Alyssa stands before you, managing attention, communicating respect, fighting friendly eyes down front and center. Say your name, feel the love, start your speech.
Hi, I'm Alyssa.
Hi, Alyssa.
And when I first met my study buddy, I saw on the outside she's a very nice and approachable person. But as I got to know her, there's a lot more to her. And throughout hearing her stories, I really admired her ultimate goal of wanting to be on Dancing with the Stars one day. So I would like to introduce you to my study buddy, Caroline DeFranco. And today I will tell you about her past living in Seattle, her present studies at UCLA, and her future endeavors to raise a family and be in the entertainment industry. And I think you will really enjoy meeting Caroline because she's an approachable person, very nice, and is already on the track to achieving the amazing goals she has set for herself. So Caroline grew up in Seattle, Washington, and lived in the same house her entire life with her mom from New York, her dad from Seattle, and her sister, who is a sophomore just like my sister. And throughout high school, a big part of Caroline's life was she was a ballroom dancer. Caroline participated in the Pacific Ballroom Dance Company for 7 years and became super close with the 12 girls and 12 boys that she danced with. So Caroline competed nationally, and one rough spot in Caroline's past was Caroline pioneered a student youth leadership council within her dance studio, and this council aimed to give students in the studio more of a voice about what was going on. And even though this should have been very exciting for Caroline, it was a rough spot in her life and brought many challenges. Lots of the girls and guys in her studio were jealous and didn't really support that Caroline was doing this because it was such an accomplishment for her that they envied her. And at the time, Caroline was also the first student in her studio to have choreographed pieces in their shows. And Caroline choreographed a song called Red Lights. And this song was all about overcoming obstacles, but the one ironic thing was that Caroline never really went through obstacles until right when she started this song. And now I'll move on to the present, and Caroline studies at UCLA. She wants to double major in dance and communications, and she accidentally signed up for a Tai Chi class this semester, but ended up really loving it. And one struggle that Caroline's had so far with her studies is that the dance major isn't really ballroom intensive. So Caroline's felt like an outsider within the major, but it's been really interesting to learn different forms of dance, and she's really interested in trying new things. And one funny story that Caroline had was the first week she was in LA, she went with her cousin from New York to Malibu and actually met Draco from Harry Potter and got to talk to him, which was a really cool experience for her. And one other obstacle that Caroline has had at UCLA so far is she was really nervous coming from Seattle, and she went with random roommates, but she's spending so much time with them in a triple, she's really grown to love them and thinks that they are both amazing people. And now to move on to her future, Caroline really wants to be involved with dance and maybe be a choreographer in the future, but she's still struggling between dance and an actual career. And as I said before, Caroline really, her ultimate goal is to be a dancer on Dancing with the Stars. And she ultimately wants to have a family and get married probably to another dancer since she relates to them so much. And she isn't sure if she wants to move back to Seattle or stay in LA, but she's really looking forward to see what the future has for her. So this is my study buddy, Caroline, and throughout last week I really enjoyed meeting her and think that the two of us will be really good friends. And I'm really excited to see her on Dancing with the Stars one day.
Thank you. 456.
Hi, I'm Lily.
Hi, Lily.
I really liked your speech. I really liked the stories that you had and how you ended with how you'd like to be friends. And I really liked how when you, in the beginning, instead of just saying, I'm going to tell you her past, present, and future, you said past about so-and-so, present. Like, so you kind of gave a little bit more of a preview, which kind of helps us get more attention.
Right, it's not just past, present, future, but more details. Improvement?
Hi, I'm Stacy. I really like
Hi, Stacy.
I really like your speech. One thing I think you could improve on is like right when you ended the speech, you kind of like trailed off and got really quiet. Your last sentence, so if you could like end it more powerfully, I think it'd be a little bit better.
Right. The speech was good. It was a little long, but you can work on word economy. You had a lot in there. And you were very positive toward your study buddy, which I liked a great deal. And I too liked your preview because of its detail and your significant statement. The past, you told us plenty of stories about her dancing and her choreographing and her problem with the leadership. You called it the sort of rough bump in the road or something. So those were good stories. So we got a feel for her past that way, and that was good. I'm glad that you accidentally signed up for a Tai Chi class. I sometimes send people that are doing crazy things with their body to take a Tai Chi class because it develops a really sense of mind-body awareness, and many people aren't aware of what their bodies are doing while they're speaking. And Tai Chi helps that. On the funny story was good. And meeting Harry Potter, I guess, is good. It was an interesting factoid. On the future, you sketched that out nicely. You say the conclusion, tie-back conclusion, were on the next page. We needed a summary, so in summary, I told you. In conclusion, and then some kind of tie back to how you started with this beginning part of you said she's on the surface a really nice person, but I got to know her deep inside and Dancing with the Stars. So and you did tie back to Dancing with the Stars, so that was a good tie back there for that. So, but make that more vivid so we really know with your voice, so we know we're coming the full circle, okay? But you did a good job. Thank you. Up, we're out of time. Okay, just so there's no misunderstanding, we'll get caught up with the rest of the intros as time allows after we do the A's on the film speeches. And where are we meeting next Tuesday? Powell Library, yes. Thank you. Yes. Hi.
For the film speech, I'm a C, except on the day in which the C's go, I have 3 midterms, so I found someone who was a B, so it was okay if we like switch days.
So you're going to go early.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Great, thank you. And, sorry, also for the...
Yes, just a minute, let me save my battery.
No, I'm not from Capital, but I went to